It's 22 pages of terror. That, according to one former elected official who has deep knowledge of Detroit's finances. The problem is the city now has limited ability to borrow money, which leads to the question, will Detroit soon be run by an emergency manager? Detroit paid the consulting firm Ernst & Young $1.7 million for this first quarter cash reporting package, the document that led to secret meetings between the mayor and city council and real concerns that payless paydays are on the horizon.
In essence, they will not be able to make payroll in the best case scenario by June 30th, 2012.
Action News asked CPA George Smith to review the audit report. He says things are moving quickly towards financial disaster.
February, January is definitely a realistic possibility. And again, that's before these pension obligations and debt service. There just won't be enough cash to cover everything for a year.
That's if most of the projections in the report pan out. Detroit City Councilman Gary Brown believes the city will be broke by mid-December, as we reported 2 weeks ago. The report says the cash shortage by June of next year is around $64 million. But the projections come with a lengthy disclaimer that says Ernst & Young relied totally on data provided by the city, that it did not assist in assembling the prospective financial information. But even with the best available numbers, it clearly spells out in just 22 pages a frightening scenario that former city councilwoman Sheila Cockrel predicted was coming for years. Only real change, she says, will balance budgets.
There have to be fundamental changes in how services are delivered. There have to be fundamental changes in wage structures and benefit structures and pensions. When there is no more money, you then have to act like there is no more money.
The big concern is services will be cut. If you cut payroll, there's less people to perform the services. If you cut departments, you're going to have less and less of it. So that affects every person in the city of Detroit.
Which brings us to the all-important question, is an emergency manager in Detroit's future? Governor Rick Snyder is downplaying that possibility. He recently spoke to 7 Action News.
Well, that's not a given. I mean, basically, we still have a whole process. In terms of a review team would need to come in. There's opportunities for a consent agreement. The emergency manager is the last resort, and I want to avoid that whenever possible because that's a failure point. So hopefully we can avoid that.
This is not just a Southeast Michigan problem. It's going on all over this country.
Oakland County Executive Brooks Patterson isn't ready to concede that a financial collapse in Detroit will spill over into his territory, but he believes Bing will have to come out strong with cost cutting.
I'd say pretty close to draconian cuts. He has to. And people think he's bluffing or that he can do it himself. Really don't understand the depth and the nature of the problem.
And when Mayor Dave Bing speaks to the region tomorrow night, he'll be talking about what's needed to prevent the assignment of an emergency manager, starting with negotiating with city unions and their 11,000 employees.
With health care benefits as well as pension, we're probably looking at somewhere close to $100 million. Expenses are out distancing the revenue by a long shot, and we constantly are looking at year after year running a deficit. We don't have enough money to continue to do the things that we've been doing historically.
Tomorrow night, the mayor, Dave Bing, is expected to talk of the need to eliminate some 2,200 jobs in the city if he doesn't get the concessions that he wants. That's about 1/4 of the workforce. He has also said that he doesn't want to be the emergency manager, but if that happens, the mayor believes that person could be in place by early next year. Bill Proctor, 7 Action News.